right, dealing with probability once again, as we talked about yesterday, this is the start of the review of the idea of probabilities. What this will lead into is an in-class assignment and a worksheet today. Tomorrow will be a lab. Monday will be a review day. Tuesday will be the quiz that we have on probability. Solutions were provided for you. Okay. Questions you have initially on any of the problems that we are dealing with here? Once again, you should be checking your solutions as you go along. It's the verbiage that you have on problems A through F. The first problem there, you have to work yourself through the verbiage of it. Okay, understanding the ands and the ors. Okay, and when you're just choosing one person, you're not doing a multiplication principle when you're choosing one person with respect to it. Okay, you are more going to be just adding up numbers of in each of the categories that you have there. Questions on anything on the front? Okay, if you look at number 2, part D, we were playing cards with a normal 52 card deck. I find an old deck in a drawer. Unfortunately, the Jack of Hearts and the Ace of Spades are missing with the incomplete deck. I find the following. You're drawing one card. Probability drawing a 5 or a spade. A 5 or a spade. Well, we have a total of 52 cards. We once again look at favorable over total number. Okay, so we look at favorable outcomes over total number of outcomes. When we look at favorable outcomes, on the bottom of it, we got 50 cards. That's easy to do. But on top, you're looking at favorable outcomes. You're looking for a 5 or a spade. So if we take a look, we are missing the Ace of Spades. Okay, we are missing the Ace of Spades, and I think I might have the incorrect answer with this one. Okay, we don't have an Ace of Spades, and we're missing the Jack of Hearts. So if we take a look, we are looking at a 5 or a spade. How many 5s do we have in the deck of cards? We have 4 of them. So we have 4 spades or 4 5s in the deck of cards. Now we take a look at how many spades we have in the deck of cards. Well, we're missing the Ace of Spades. So we have a total of how many spades in this deck of cards? 12 of them. But one of those spades is also the 5 of spades. Okay, so we have 12 spades in there. So if we just add the 12 to this, that is correct. But what we have to do is we have to subtract off this value, or the 1, which is the 5 of spades. So on top we have 12 plus the 12 plus the 4, which is 16 minus 1. So this should be 15 over 50, which will reduce down to 3 over 10. And once again, I have an incorrect answer that I provided for you. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to calculate the 5 of spades twice. If you just go 4 plus the 12, if you go 4 plus the 12, what you're doing is you're saying that you're counting the 5 of spades twice, which is incorrect. Okay, so you have to make sure that you eliminate that 1, 5 of spades. Or you can sit there and go, I got 4 5s, and then I got 11 other spades that are not the 5 of spades. If we go to the back, if we go to the last problem, number 8. Basketball player Billy Joe is a 63% free throw shooter, which means he makes 63% of his free throws. If you're a 63% free throw shooter, That means whenever you shoot a free throw, the probability, bless you, the probability of you making a free throw is 63%. Your probability of making a free throw is 63%. And that's from the data that you just basically, you shooting free throws. If he has one free throw, what's the probability of him making the free throw? Well, that's 63%. Part A is pretty easy. If he has two free throws, what's the probability of him making both? So in part B, we have free throw number 1 and free throw number 2. The probability of him making the first free throw is 63%. Now, make or miss does not matter. What's the probability of him making the second free throw? Does him making or missing the first free throw impact his ability of making the second free throw? No. So what can we call these? What can we call these events? Anybody remember what we can call the events? The ability of doing the first event does not affect the ability of the second event. Q? Independent. These two events are independent, because if I make the first one, okay, doesn't mean I'm going to make or miss the second one. Okay, it's not going to affect your probability of the second event. So these two are independent events. So the probability of making the second free throw is 0.63. So to calculate the probability of making both the free throws, what do we do with these two values? Jenna, what do you think we should do with these two values? Multiply them together. Because once again, if we take a look back to definition, if you have independent events, probability of independent events. If we want to find the probability of A and B, that's the probability of A times the probability of B. If they weren't independent, we would have probability of B given that A has occurred. But these are independent events, so we don't have to worry about the conditional probability. So we can multiply these together. So we have 0.63 times 0.63. Lucas, what do you get? I'm sorry, what? 39.6%. So we have 0.396. Okay, so if you're a 63% free throw shooter, probability of you making both is only about 40%. Probability misses both. If he has a 63% probability of making a free throw, what's his percent probability of missing a free throw? 37%, okay? Because you're either going to make or miss. You either make it or you miss it. So you have a 0.37% chance for both of these that we can multiply together. So the chances of him missing both would be 0.37 times 0.37, 0.137. Which is a 13.7% chance. Wasn't asked? What's the probability of making one and missing one? What's your probability of making one and then missing one? Check your answer with somebody around you. Probability of making one, missing one. Sarah, what'd you come up with? 23.3%. How'd you get it?
63.
So we have 60.63 times 0.37. Make one, miss one. Okay? Yes, no, maybe so. All right. We're shooting 2 free throws. We're shooting 2 free throws. What's our options? What's our sample space? Okay, I'm either going to make them both, I'm going to miss them both, or I'm going to make one, miss one. Do I have any other options? So there is a 100% chance of one of those things happening, correct? 100% chance. Am I correct? Guaranteed. I'm going to shoot 2 free throws. I'm going to make them both. I'm going to miss them both. I'm going to make one, miss one. Well, if I take a look at my 3 percentages, I have a 39.6% chance of making both. I have a 13.7% chance of missing both. And we say down here, making one, missing one is a 23.3% chance of doing that. Does this add up to 100%? No. So where's our error here? Where's our mistake? Yes, Grayson.
You can miss that, make it.
That's correct. We had to take consideration the full sample space here. Because all we're looking at here was making and then missing. We have making one and missing one. So what we have to do is we have to multiply this by 2 to give us 46.6% chance. Now if I take a look at 46.6%, 13.7, 39.6, 6%. Now if I add all 4 of those up, I should add up to 100%. We did not accept, or we did not consider the entire sample space. Okay? The sample space that we considered was, we made 2, we missed 2, we made 1, missed 1, but we had to take into consideration missing the first one and making the second one. Okay, so we have to take in consideration all the sample space. It's just like what we talked about with respect to children. When we were talking about children and the sample space. We can have 2 males, we can have 2 females, we can have male, female, but then we can also have female, male. So order is important here. So once again, we had to multiply by 2 when we're dealing with this type of problem, so we can add up to 100%. Other questions you have? All right, we have 2 more things here today. We have 2 things. We have an in-class assignment. Okay, as before with in-class assignments, you can use your books, you can use your notes, you can use your homework. You just can't use each other. When you're done, you can turn in the in-class assignment. And you have a worksheet up here, very similar to the worksheet that we just completed. Once again, you can use your books, notes, homework, just not each other with the in-class assignment. You want to try it? It's up to you. You want to try it? Give it a shot.